Okay, we're going to talk about video routing for just a second in this room in general. And a lot of it has to do with this device right here. This is the Blackmagic Video Hub, which is a 40 input and 40 output routing system. And basically the way that it works is you take all of your inputs to here, and then all of your outputs to here, and then you can assign anytime that you want to which input goes to which output. Every output can only show one input at a time, but you could have the same output on many different screens if you wanted to. So let me show you how the device works, and we're going to talk through the signal flow just a little bit. So what you have buttons that say in, out, clear, and take. And over here you're going to have a dial, and you're also going to have something that says menu, set, and lock. So if you see the menu here, hit the menu button and you'll come back to this. Up at the top, you're going to see source and you're going to see destination. So destination is your output. That would be like a television or other things that need outputs. And source would be what are you feeding to it? What is it going to show? There's all these buttons over here and number pads that you can use to say, hey, go camera 1, go deck 1. And that's all something that you're probably not really going to use a whole lot, to be honest with you. You could, but it's easier to do it via software. But it's not too hard to use the scroll wheel. Now, what I recommend whenever you're doing video routing is to make a sentence for yourself and to say, hey, at this destination, I want this to show up, or I want this to show up at this destination. It's always right to start with your output. So here, we're going to go through, and you're going to see as I scroll the wheel, it says Studio 1, Studio 2, Edit C, Edit F, Production, Studio Monitor, ... output 12. So let's say output 12 is what I want to work on right now. And you'll see, now I'm going to change from the out button to the in button, and it says Edit A. So I'm going to turn this edit, now it says Edit B. I'm going to come here, and you'll see these buttons that are saying take and clear. If I hit the take button, now Edit B is running to output 12. Before that, it hadn't been. I don't really want that. I'm going to put it back where it was. I'm still on the destination of output 12, and I'm going to scroll back to where it says Edit A. It's flashing again. If I hit the clear button, it's not going to make it happen. If I come back and take, now it's taking it. That's how you route everything. Now, physically, on the back of this, there's a whole ton of SDI input, like just little connectors. Come on back, and we'll take a look at it just for the video. That's the back. That's like all that there is. One side is inputs, one side is outputs. These are the inputs on the left, these are the outputs on the right, and it goes 1 to 40. So whatever's physically plugged into 1 here, that's what 1 is, regardless of what the name is. And you're going to see some labels that are left over for some things. You'll also see on the outputs here, teleprompter outputs that are going to different places, and cables that can be added sometime in the future. So we are going to talk about how to do that via computer in just a second, but I want to finish the signal flow that happens with the fiber optic cables for a minute. So video can happen via fiber optic, or it can happen via SDI signals. That's all of our SDI or coaxial SDI signals, at least. So from a fiber optic perspective, everything fiber optic in the school runs to this panel right here. There's a little, you can pick up these latches and this will come down. The ATEM Studio Converter is where we need our video signals to make it if we want it to be processed with our system. So down here, this is the lowest level. You can see that there's a cable in here. And if you follow that cable all the way to where it goes, number 1 from studio panel 1 through 4 goes to 1. Number 2 goes to 2. Number 3 goes to 3. Number 4 goes to 4. So what is studio panel number 1? That's in the main room. There's fiber optic connections, and it'll say fiber 1, fiber 2, fiber 3. And then on the other side, there's some that say fiber 5 and fiber 6. But if you wanted to take a fiber optic feed from somewhere else, like the crow's nest, the gym, or the auditorium, instead of the input starting here at studio panel, let's say 4, I could unplug that, plug it into auditorium 4. You'll see it says 1 through 12. It would be better if it was 1 through 6. The fourth one And if I click it in right there, this is just a connector cap, a protector cap. Now the signal for camera 4 would be coming from the auditorium, and you'd have to click in down there as well, and it will go into Studio Converter 4. So that's how it goes fiber optically in here, but we're going to show how it goes out here. Where do those all go to? That bottom panel that said Studio Converter, it comes to right here. And in the back, there are 4 sleeves with those fiber optic connections. You hook them up, and now it's there. From the back of there, it leaves via SDI and goes back into the video hub. So the video flow for a camera run of fiber optic goes from the camera into whatever patch point in the wall, into that fiber optic converter we just looked at. It comes into the studio converter from here, and then that goes back into the video hub via SDI and can get controls going both ways. There's also a cable that runs to here, very important cable. A copy of the program feed runs to here. It's just an output from the video hub switcher, but we tell it, hey, carry the program feed over back to this, and it works. Now, one more thing we're going to look at, and that's how you can control that via software. So, as long as you're on the Lutheran West AV network patched in to the control network, you can use these 2 programs. If that doesn't make a sense, make sure that you watch the videos I have on the AV network that explain that. This computer right here is hardwired via one of these connectors into the control network, so I know that it works, and so are all the other devices in here. So that's how we're able to communicate. On a Mac, if you hit the command and the spacebar at the same time, you get an option to search for stuff. And if I type in video hub is what we're looking for. There's one that says video hub setup and one that says video hub control. So take a look at this. We're going to go to setup first. It opens up this thing. If you don't see something show up, you're not connected to the network. And then I'm going to hit where the little file icon is. It opens up, and there's my inputs, 1 through 40. And there's an opportunity for me to label them. Well, input number 1 is coming from Studio 01. Input 2 comes from Studio 03. That's fine. There's also some over here that say input 25. There's nothing in there yet. And sometime in the future, you may run a cable and you can give it a name or a label. Now the output tab. Output tab, where we got Studio 1, Studio 2, Studio 3, Edit C, Edit F, and ATEM in. There's a whole bunch of different things in here. So that's how you can name that stuff. We're going to go back to a different program now. And we're going to Video Hub, instead of Video Hub Setup, we're going to go to Video Hub Control. Here's Video Hub Control. Now what you're seeing right here is a list of the outputs on the right, and then which input we're feeding into it. So multi-view is going to production monitor 1. Now we can't choose production monitor something else right here. This list is static. This one you can change. So if I wanted something else, let's say studio monitor right here, and it's picking up Edit D right now. If I wanted that to instead be showing the multi-view again, I could come down here and click, and that will make the multi-view show up on that screen, just like that. We were Edit D, right? Good. So that's the way that this thing right here works. You can assign it super easily. You can save it. You can go up here. I think you can save it. Maybe you can't save it. But you can assign everything that you need to right from this spot. Now, one other part I want to mention is just these panels right here that say SDI, D, E, and F. A, B, C, D, E, F are here. The reason they don't have in or out on them is we weren't sure if they were going to be inputs or outputs. Well, what makes it an input or an output? On the back side of this connector, there's eventually a cable that goes back there. If you wanted Edit D to be an input and it was currently an output, you'd have to unplug it from the video hub, plug it into one of the inputs, and label it. And then this would become an input instead of an output. It's all what's physically connected. If that doesn't make sense, look at the diagrams, think about it for a little bit. It comes down to where is something plugged in that device back there. That's doing all the work.